Hi, this is Tutor and this is lesson 780. Title of today's lesson is the difference between deport and repatriate. Okay, somebody wants a screenshot, do it right now. Let's go right to it. If a person is deported, he or she is forced to leave a country, usually as a punishment because they have done something wrong. It is usually something not as serious as a felony or like murder or armed robbery because they would be prosecuted for that and usually sent to jail in that country. It is usually not a violent crime. It is more likely to be for working illegally, overstaying a visa, having a visa revoked for some reason. Let's continue. Now, when one is deported, he or she is usually repatriated because they must be sent somewhere out of the country, and usually that will be to one's home country. So technically they can't just throw them in another country or send them to another country. They need to send them somewhere. So whatever passport they got, that's what they'll send them to. So technically, in this sort of sense, every time somebody is deported, or almost every time, you are being repatriated. But it is possible to be repatriated and not be deported. So let's go on. Okay, good. Repatriate means to send someone back to his country of origin. It is not always done as a punishment, and it may be voluntary or involuntary. So voluntary means they willingly do it or not willingly. For example, if a person were a victim of abduction and was later saved, he would be repatriated as a way to send the person home. Okay. And we got 4 examples here to show just how it's used. Here's the first one. If a person gets deported, he will get a big, ugly deported stamp in his or her passport. If repatriated, you don't get this stamp. And I did actually talk to some people. They said they got a deported stamp in the country. I think they overstayed their visa. But they say once you get that deported stamp, when they go back to their home country, they usually pretend that they lost their passport. Because if you travel with that, every country you look at in their immigration, they will see a deported stamp. And they will start questioning you, why did you get deported? And it could cause you problems. So the easiest thing to do at that point would be to simply get a new passport. Let's continue. Number 2, he was found on a lifeboat because his boat sank and he was repatriated to his home country. So this could be a person that was like saved at sea. Maybe the Coast Guard picked them up. They have to bring them back into their country, but then they just need to send him home, so they just might help to repatriate him. But he's not being deported. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't break any rules or laws or anything like that. Okay. Number 3, she was saved from a human trafficking gang and repatriated back to her home country. Yeah, in a sad case like this might be somebody was abducted into a life of prostitution or something like that. They got saved, and they're just sending them back to their own home country. They're a victim, so they don't get a deported stamp. They just get repatriated. All right, number 4, in the 1990s, a foreign student was deported for defacing a poster of Mao. Yeah, I remember reading this at that time. I forget if he was American or Canadian, but he bought a poster of Mao, and, he started making Mao look feminine. He put little earrings on her, put a little purse in his hand, put circles around the eyes and stuff. And he foolishly, he took photos of it. This was before digital cameras. And he went to the photo developing store and they reported him. They showed the photos and he got deported over doing something like that. This is another case where, it's not serious enough to put him in jail and it would cause international problems, so they just deport him back to his own home country. Anyway, hope you got it. Hope it was clear. Hope it was very informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.